Good morning and happy pink full moon in Libra, and the downloads are flooding in, and if you follow me you'll know this is how I channel, how I work. So I've been automatic writing before coming online, and you know, no surprise, the downloads are flooding in for the full moon, because the witch in me, you know, which I've, I wouldn't say recently just discovered. I had a witch wound to heal in my mother's lineage, my ancestral. I wouldn't say that's recent, but I would say that it's recent that I have healed it. So I'm speaking about my truth now, you know. So what I got persecuted for, which has recently just come into the knowing after I did an energy healing session on my sister. Remembrance of the persecution for being, yeah, a witch, you know. A witch is only a label that they put on us because of how much power, you know, the divine feminine energy held. So the intuitive, the connection to spirit, spiritual awakening, you know, well, it was too powerful and it needed to be silenced, hence, you know, Mary Magdalene times also. Yeah, so the witch wound, you know, that's going to be another reading coming up, because I'm embracing my witch, multi-dimensional self at the moment. I've embraced my Lemurian past life. I've embraced my Rose lineage, High Priestess past life. I've embraced my twin flame past life. Embracing the dragon, the purple dragon in me. I've embraced the shaman, medicine woman. That was one of the very first things that came into my knowing. I've embraced that I'm from the angelic realm. As weird as that sounds to some people, I get that. But we are not just one. When you take this journey and truly, you know, heal deeply, and you take that journey, then that remembrance comes back to you that we are not just one. We exist in all times and dimensions, you know. We are not just here. We have not just been here. We have many past lives. And yeah, they've come flooding back for me. And yeah, let's get back to the automatic writing. So yeah, I'm embracing the witch in me. I've always loved Halloween also. It's my favourite time of the year. And you know, hocus pocus and practical magic and the craft. Yeah, I know why now. You know, because we tend to get drawn to what our soul knows. So yeah, one of the first rose quartz crystals I made was, I kept getting the rose through in meditation. And when I started my candle business, one of the first candles that I ever made was a rose quartz crystal. No coincidence, you know, you're drawn to what your soul remembers. So my soul remembers I'm many, and we all are. But, you know, I've done the work, so I remember this. Got to do the work. So, yeah, happy full moon in Libra, pink full moon. So I can't wait, you know, to see that. And I'll be out in the garden and I'll be charging my crystals up, you know, working with the moon magic. And yeah, I'll be using this energy to further me on my spiritual path, you know. And I've used the moon and the cycles again for something that I relate to, something that I feel heavily. So I'm feeling the energy of the moon today. Eclipses, all of that, you know, I feel all that. I work with the moon cycles. The goddess in me, you know, remembers that, the the High Priestess, all of that remembers how to work with the moon cycles. So I use it to my advantage, you know. And this moon, it's about growing, you know, it's also planting a seed, and watering and nourishing that seed, you know, and letting it grow organically, not forcing it. It's not forceful. It's about growing organically. You know, planting them seeds, watering them, nourishing them. So that means healing and, you know, nourishing your temple with the right foods, water, all of that, you know. Also self-compassion, self-love. That's nourishment, you know, what you give to yourself. That's your nourishment. That brings in harmony and balance. And yeah, this full moon is in Libra, you know, so it's about balance, harmony and balance, the scales, balancing them scales. And it's also the goddess Estre, and that, you know, that's emotional alignment and renewal. And it's about opening up your heart, you know, to let new beginnings in and to release what no longer serves you, and to open that new door to the new you, you know, the real you, the authentic you. Yeah, you know, and it's just about setting intentions of those seeds that you're planting, you know. So you set the intentions now, and you might not see the growth now, but you water and you nourish it enough, you're going to see the growth. And I can attest to this, you know, because I've been on my journey, twin flame journey, for 8 years now. And I've seen growth and I've seen expansion, and it's because of the work we've done. Not just me, you know, because we're mirror souls. Yeah, it's about that loyalty we have to each other. This was the card that I drew before coming online. Standing by each other through thick and thin. True love, devotion. Yeah, true love to yourself and devotion to yourself. True love and devotion to your healing. What you heal, they heal. The divine feminine, me, is the one leading the connection, you know. So I'm a bit further ahead. So my twin's catching up. So this moon, this full moon in Libra, pink moon, it's about harmony and balance, balancing them scales, you know. So I'm expecting communication, and yeah, you know, where it's been a bit silent again lately. I understand that, I understand energy, I understand how this journey works. So I don't go knocking down my twin's door, you know, to say, hey, why are you talking to me? No, I've detached. Why have I detached? Because I've healed. I've healed my witch wounds, you know, the witch wounds, like, you know, you got silenced, you know, patriarchy, control, hierarchy. Yeah, I've healed all that. It's all part of it. Yeah, I'm being devoted to myself, and by doing that, I've seen growth. Those seeds that I planted at the very beginning of my journey, I've seen growth. Me and my twin are now in union, but there's still healing to do, you know. So to get that complete balance, yeah, I'm working with this moon to move this connection on, you know. So I'm continuously working with the moon cycles and bringing in new, you know, new energy, weaving. Yeah, I'm weaving, the saying. I'm a weaver of energy. Part of my ancient gifts, you know, the 144, the chosen, that's also a remembrance. Very beginning, 144 came through to me. But it wasn't until I started using my intuition, a purple dragon connection source, came that channel, that clear glass channeled source, because of all the healing I've done, that the 144 was fully, you know, on board for me. I knew I was ancient soul, but the 144 was, well, I had to get past the ego stage, you know, because the 144 said the chosen of God, and yes, we are, but we chose to come here. So we chose this timeline to come and help humanity seed this unconditional love that we hold in our DNA, our blueprint, our divine blueprint, to help Earth raise its frequency. And it's no coincidence that the dark is, you know, seems to have got a bit darker, doesn't it, on planet Earth. And it's no coincidence that the light workers, light wave showers, light seeds, twin flames, 144, whatever you want to call us. Yeah, no coincidences. We're coming out of the shadows also. Spiritual warfare, it's real, it's happening. Light workers battle in the dark. And the light workers know this because we've been doing it in secret. You know? So, yeah, this is the path of the light worker, light seed, light wave shower, twin flame, 144. It's not an easy one, but we knew what we was getting into when we signed the contract, our soul contract to come here, you know. We chose this. We knew our soul was strong enough to choose this. So, yeah, this has took a time, but I pulled a Lemurian. See, my multidimensional self is well and truly on board. You know, I pulled pretty much a card from each of my decks this morning. So, Lemuria. And I just want you to take this in, because there's very, very powerful activations and remembrance in these beautiful images. And you know, Lemurians was very, very spiritually advanced light beings. The most spiritually advanced light beings. Heart-centered always. Came from the heart in anything they did. We did. I am one. And, you know, look at the heart glowing. How beautiful. You know, when I look at these cards myself, it always brings remembrance back for me, you know. It triggers something else in my soul of remembrance. Makes me miss home, you know. But I know that I'm here in this timeline to seed a bit of my home, where I come from, the stars. Many, many places, you know, not just one. Into humanity. Bring that heart expansion to humanity. Self-love and self-compassion, you know. What the dark's been trying to take from us. Beautiful. Yeah, this is Lumin Essence. You can see why it's called Lumin Essence. Just put that there and I'll read a little bit from the book, which I already got out. They always like you to take the card in while I read. So, Lumin Essence, self-love, the light that radiates from our hearts, light shining in the darkness. Yeah, what did I just say? The darkness is all around us. Let's face it, let's be truthful. You know, when you come from the heart, there's nothing but truth. Darkness is here, it's been here. Why do you think the scales of justice have been unbalanced? But it's time to balance now, you know. Balance and harmony. And the light workers, the light way showers, the light seeds, twin flames, 144, chosen, that chose to come here. not from an ego point of view, you know, because we've balanced that, we've done the work. We just know we chose this. Yeah, the light is shining through the darkness. We are the light shining through your darkness, they say. Asikoto eo sia neo sia. But can you see this, humans? Ete shotoya ne. Can you see how divine you are? Esetosi ek otoyane. It's time to open your eyes. Asheto soto eko sotomaye e akesatia e onoshoto. The time is now. The time is now for heart expansion. Ese yono soye e akashetoyono e amasekotoye e ashitiono e amasekoto e ne ok esamane. Be self-compassionate. Bring self-love. You create harmony and balance when you love yourself. Thank you. Bit too early for light language for me, but just go with it now. That's why I'm here. Came for this. As hard as it gets for me, and it gets very, very hard, and it gets exhausting, and it plays havoc on my physical body. After years of chronic ill health, then I got catapulted into my twin flame awakening. And it plays havoc on your emotional, your mental, your physical, your spiritual, everything, you know. But I also know that I came here for this. It's what I signed up for. I'm strong enough. Strong enough. Let's get through it now. I'm strong enough to help others through it also. So the light shining in the darkness, heart-centered living, removing your heart armor, accepting your shadows as the flip side of your strengths. Yeah. So when you go into your healing, you know, your deep dark night or whatever your soul path is, mine happens to be Kundalini rising, deep dark night of the soul. Many spiritual awakenings, not just one, but yeah, you know, you can have more than one. But I'm just going to take a drink. Slight language can make me quite heady, so I need to ground. Yeah, so when you go into your dark night of the soul, you go into your own shadows. So your own shadows being your ego mind. Judgments of self, judgments from others, society beliefs, old paradigms. You're breaking that all down. All that you've been programmed to believe up until that point, you're breaking down. You know, you're opening your heart and you're removing that armour that's been around your heart. And it's been stopping you from seeing the truth, you know, your true authenticity, you know, your sacred heart. It's been stopping you from getting to your sacred heart, and that's done for a reason, you know. So when we choose to journey through life, from our hearts, it illuminates the darkness. All illusion drops away and we see what is real. Yeah, what was I just saying? When you journey from your heart, and you come from the heart, and everything comes from the heart, no matter what is coming your way, you stay in your heart. And that doesn't mean being a doormat for other people. No, it does not. It just means coming from a place of, you know, compassion and love, and seeing the shadows in that other person and why they are like they are, you know. So when you realise that and you heal that in yourself, you can see that in others, you know. So when I started to heal my heart and I started to come from a more compassionate place, which I've always been very compassionate anyhow, That'll be the angelic, you know, in me. But I started to see that shadow in others, you know, and I didn't take it personally, you know. I just knew that they needed to heal some of their shadows. But yeah, shadows, they help us heal, you know. So you don't eradicate the shadow, you can coexist with it. So the light and the shadow can coexist together in perfect balance, you know, once you've healed. But yeah, when we choose to journey through life from our hearts, it illuminates the darkness. All illusion drops away and we see what is real. What does self-love look like for you? Self-love is often talked about, but we don't always consider its deeper implications. One of the keys for bringing heaven to earth is the realisation of our optimal reality. To create a new earth, not dissimilar to the Lemurian utopia, we navigate or illuminate our journey through our hearts. Yeah, Lemurians, the utopia. I mean, yeah, you could just, reminds me of Avatar, you know, and I've always loved the film Avatar, and I know why. My soul remembered my time in Lemuria, and, you know, plugging into that energy source of the land, the ocean, energy, you know, and the unconditional love that was there. My soul remembers that. Hence why I'm bringing that to humanity now. You know, my soul, my DNA holds that template, that blueprint, the light language, the light codes. We're all part of my multidimensional journey through lifetimes and lifetimes, you know. And it's all returned back to me. The more healing I've done, the more willing I've been to be vulnerable and open my heart, you know, to this healing. Yeah, to create a new earth, not dissimilar to the Lemurian utopia, heaven on earth, you know, heaven to earth. So the heaven to earth is when you heal, it's that bridge, you know, it's that bridge from the earth to the heaven, and it's that human to the divine. You start to remember you are human and divine. That is your earth to heaven. That's your connection, you know. You don't just think I'm human and I am limited. I'm limited to what I can do because I am human. When you heal fully, you know, to remembering the earth to the heaven connection to the divine. And the divine is connection to source. The divine is remembering all your soul gifts. The divine is remembering that divine blueprint. And we navigate or illuminate our journey through our hearts. Yeah, when you bridge that heaven to earth, that earth to heaven, when you bridge that and you do the healing, you illuminate for others. You become that lighthouse in the darkness. You illuminate, you know, just like this card is illuminating. My DNA is illuminating for others their path ahead, you know, to find their hearts, to open up to finding their sacred heart. When our core foundations are integrity and kindness, our choices are ethical, and our souls radiate warmth, hold compassionate space for others, and inspire others to carry it forward. Unfortunately, as we travel through life, we often armour ourselves to protect our hearts. Yeah, you know, earth, when we come here, we don't come here armoured. But when we do come here, we get this veil dropped upon us. And when it's our time to wake, that veil then shall be lifted, you know, and our eyes will open. Eyes to see, ears to hear. start remembering, we start seeing beyond the veil, start hearing the echoes of our soul, you know. We hear the echoes of our soul gives. So we fear them to be delicate and vulnerable, but this is contrary to the incredible power of having a full, open heart. Yeah, you know, Earth, the density, it's the lowest vibration planet in our universe. Look at the darkness that's here. Darkness has been here for a long, 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 long time. But now is the time on planet Earth for the darkness to fall away. And for this to be more illumination, for there to be more light. The new Earth is about heart, about love, self-compassion, living from the heart, loving in a different way, you know. New templates. Our heaven has been here all along. But this veil that was dropped upon us put us to sleep. That's falling away. It's falling away and it's illuminating the shadow in ourselves and also the planet. It's time, you know. The time is now, is all I keep getting from every channeled message I do. The time is now for the light to illuminate the way for new Earth. And it says, sadly, we can toss parts of ourselves in the trash because we can not see how they serve us, or they may feel too ugly or painful. Loving yourself is about accepting all of yourself, including the parts you may consider less desirable. Yeah, the shadows. So love your shadows. Love all parts of yourself, is what this card is saying, you know. And I've learnt to love my shadows. And I've learnt to love my light also. Learnt to accept my light, the gifts that I hold inside me that's been returned through the healing I've done, through facing my shadows and loving my shadows. I embrace all parts of myself now. Hence why I talk about my journey. If I didn't embrace and accept who I am, truly at a soul level, and if I had not bridged that earth and heaven, I would not be able to speak about this journey. It would be impossible to speak about this journey. One has to walk this journey to speak about it. Just grounding. Whew. Yeah, could tell this was going to be a powerful, powerful reading. Many guards are in, not just my Lemurian self, high self. Yeah, many are coming through. Multidimensional. So as we make the journey to wholeness, healing, we see the parts we have severed from ourselves, our counterparts to our greatest strengths. We also realise the actions we thought benefited others when we went out of our way to please, fall short or fall away. Yeah, just take that in. We also realise the actions we thought benefited others when we went out of our way to please, fall short or fall away. Yeah, overgiving. That was one of my shadows I had to heal, embrace, balance. I overgave. And I was overgiving because I was searching, you know, for love. Searching for the love I held inside all along. Did not know that until I took this journey. And I guess I was asking for acceptance because I knew I was different, you know, knew I was here to do something different. And I guess I was just reaching out for others to accept that. Not now. I've healed that, you know. The ones that find me for a reason. They're meant to. But I won't go chasing. My love should be enough, you know. And I won't chase. Self-love, self-compassion. And so it says, in their place, we can allow authentic gifts to unfurl and bring luminosity to shared endeavours and environments. Consider how you relate to your world when you come to it from a happy place of fullness, doing things because you want to. Yeah, I love doing what I'm doing now. I love the messages I get off people saying, I'm so glad I found your channel, Ellie. You're helping me in so many ways. And that's not from an ego, you know. The ego's balanced. You balance the ego on this journey. And it comes from a place of just pure love, you know, and wanting that for others. So I've took this journey and I know that others are quite capable of doing the same. Quite capable of self-compassion, self-love. Quite capable of changing their circumstances, just like I did. Quite capable of finding this earth and heaven. Quite capable of walking across that rainbow bridge and healing. Balancing those shadows with the light. They're quite capable of all that I have done. Now, I'm not saying it's an easy journey, because it is not. And have there been times where I have wanted to get off this journey? Yes. Have there been times where it's had me on my knees? Yes. Have there been times where I've loved this journey and I love helping people? And yes. And this time is now. I've come full circle after 8 years of healing. And I won't chase. People who are meant to find will find. The frequency is that powerful, it will find the ones it's meant to. That's not ego. I've balanced the ego. That's a knowing. That's a knowing I came here to do this. And I'm speaking now, speaking the truth. In a world that's very, very judgmental on others. And that brings me to my next card. See, they're all coming through this morning. Whew. Going to ground. So this card came out. For thou shalt not judge another, for thee are only condemning thyself. Yeah. So when you judge another, it's things that you don't like about yourself. Shadows that you don't like inside you. So I'm that mirror. I'm a twin flame. Divine feminine energy. Also divine masculine now, because I've took the journey and I've balanced the two powerful energies out inside of me. So in my connection, divine feminine, yes. But divine feminine and masculine balanced now completely. So when I've been judged for my spiritual gifts, for having connection to source, spirit, you know, what's classed as voodoo, witch, all of that, I've had it all. I know that that is not my shadow, that is their shadow. I am a mirror and I hold that reflection up for them. That's what I do. I'm a mirror soul. So what needs healing inside others, I mirror that back to them. So yeah, for thou shalt not judge another, for thee art only condemning thyself. We're to have power in us, so what you speak comes back to you, good or bad. What you think comes back to you, good or bad. Spell casting, that's the witch in me, knows that. These cards hold remembrance also. Yeah. Whew. Very powerful reading this morning. Knew it would be. Working with the pink full moon in Libra. All about the heart. So I'm just going to read a little bit more. Then I'm going to take my little pooch Luna for a walk and get her out, and then I'm going to come back and do the heart expansion, pink full moon in Libra, heart expansion for release and renewal, Reiki and light language codes for us all to help us on our journey. Why? Because I love doing this, getting back to this part. When you do things that you love, doing things because you want to, yeah, we live in a world where we're always taught that we have to do that, we have to do that. You know, we're on this complete programming of you've got to be in that job, you've got to do that. Well, who says we have? We create what we want to create. You know, we are the creators of our own reality. And when you start opening up to healing and your heart starts to open and you start bridging that earth to heaven, that human and divine, you realise you are the creator of your own reality. You realise that. And you start doing things you love. And yeah, it says, sometimes we feel we must give away our happiness to show we care for others. But when we live our joy, it affects others. Yeah, I'm living my true, authentic soul path. Why I came here. The only reason I came here in this timeline is to help others. To seed unconditional love, you know, into humanity. It's the only reason I'm here. And I know that. Not just me. Connected to another. But yeah, I know that. My heart, my sacred heart knows that now. Yeah, it says, remember your internal world reflects your outer reality. As within, so without. As above, so below. Yeah. What your inner world, you know, your thoughts, you create in your outer world. Think of a time where you thought something was going to happen and it's happened. Why do you think that is? As within, so without. As above, so below. I'm going to leave it there because it's 40 minutes. And like I said, I'm going to take my little pooch Luna for a walk, my little goddess. Because she'll feel in the energies also, you know. Animals feel the energy. I'm going to leave you with Heart expansion, Lemurian, light language. Esotoyono, Eoshotoyanaye, Ekosotoyameye, Eonosoto, Ishamane, Eononuno sianene, Alasekotoyonono, Manana Sodoto, Shititi, Ototo Sikatanaye, O Shamanana. Love thyself. Don't be afraid to open your hearts. The treasure that awaits there is gold. Right, 40 minutes. I shall see you all soon.